quick little video this week. I've got a sketchbook tour of this Fabriano sketchbook that I picked up a while ago. You know, nice brand, but it doesn't lay flat, which was a bit of an issue. I do like the cover though, kind of funky. And I've also heard a couple of people mention to me online that it isn't very sturdy, like it can fall apart a little bit if you are rough with it or use a lot of wet media. I didn't find that myself. Let's pop into it. This isn't a sketchbook review, it's a sketchbook tour. So this sketchbook I started 24th of December, so literally Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve? Is that Christmas Eve? And I finished it 22nd of January, so a month. Yeah. I actually drew this right at the end when I came back to do the month. It was blank, and I just put this little guy in with his little pencil, go draw, which is a nice little message, I think. So starting off strong with some ink swatches, and I did get these in, Christmas Eve. These arrived Christmas Eve as a little early Christmas present to myself, so I swatched them all out here. These are so fun. They do come up a lot in the sketchbook. And then basically the sketchbook is almost entirely drawing sessions, because I did a lot of drawing sessions this month, and it really helped. So a lot of these will be Emma Carlisle, including this one. Very, very bad first sketch right out the gate there. I'm just gonna kind of like go through them and chat in the background. So basically this last year, there was a lot of times where I said, oh, I haven't drawn all week, or this is my first time drawing for days, or I don't have time to draw. And I've decided this year that's not going to be something that I say. This was New Year's. We did some mountains. I just want to draw more, guys. I obviously want to do lots of other things. I want to make YouTube videos. I want to do Patreon. I want to open my shop again. I want to grow my business, etc., etc. There's always stuff to do. But the most important thing, the foundation, if you will, of all of that, is drawing and making art. So I need to do more of it, guys. So this is the sketchbook. It's begun. It started off very strong. I did a lot of experimentation this month, not only in my sketchbook, but also for Birbfest. So you'll see a lot of different materials being used. Markers and pencil, I used some pastels, some of these stamps. This one here is entirely out of Inktense pencils, I think, and a little bit of marker in the background. And I because I didn't draw a lot like the last few months of last year because I was so busy moving house and everything. And I've just was busy at work and just a little bit, just too much to do. Just not enough time to sit down and really enjoy myself and my art. Also, I just want a quick segue. I love this little moth here because he's on a stamp and he's so proud of himself. So I kind of went into early January not really knowing what I really wanted to focus on, what materials, subjects, kind of where I want my work to go. So there's a lot of mix and matching. This is another session that I did for Helen Stark and TJ. It was about Portugal, and there were some really cool photos here actually of the busy cities, but they were only on screen for a little bit. A lot of these sketches are kind of a bit of a mishmash, and some of them really are just me throwing things at the page. Like these here, I mean, these are drawing sessions, so you'll always be a little bit faster and a little bit more rough. But I also do the same in Birbfest, which I'm actually going to have a video out probably early Feb about my experimentation for Birbfest, because I basically went through, this is one of them. Every single day almost, I used a different media, a different kind of combination of materials, and it was a really nice experimentation, and I got a lot of things out of it. So that's going to be coming up next month. This is another session with Emma Carlisle, and I used some pan pastels in this because it was kind of sunsets and I thought that might be nice. But the use of pan pastels with a cast pencil on top, at the time I really didn't like it, but looking back it actually isn't too bad. I did use pan pastels a lot this month. I used it in the background here. I used it for a couple of my birbs, and I still need to figure out a way to use them in a way that I like and in a way that kind of I can mix with my material. This one here, I think, was also from Emma Carlisle, and I can't remember if this cat was in the image or if I added it. But I do love to add a cat, and I do love all of these busy rooftops that was in the background of this painting here. I just kind of did it again. This is a burb for Burbfest, so just using some cast pencils again. Oh, guys, obsessed with cast right now. I'm using them almost every day. Like here, they're so nice. And I've used them before. I have a whole video out on cast pencils if you guys want to check it out, the woodless pencils, but I'm really appreciating them and it's nice. I got some Senilia crayon pastels for Christmas, so I used them out on one of the birds here. It's not pastel pencils, I don't think are for me, but I'm gonna try to use them a bit more this year as I use pan pastels as well. I really love this sketch. It's a bit messy, a bit chaotic. It was another Emma Carlisle session, and I used the ink stamps in the background with a lot of kind of pencils thrown on top of it. A little bit of pastel here. I've been really enjoying using pastel too, especially white pastel. It is my dream. I bought 3 white pastels this month, and I also found another new one. So I now have 4 white oil pastels, and honestly, I couldn't be happier. I guess I could be happy if I had 5. I really love this sketch too. I love the red of the carpet here. This is a ink stamp. This is some pastel. A little bit of a more inky stamp here. The stamps are like square. They're a little bit bigger than, you can't really get a lot of detail, but it's really fun because, see, I put like a green down for the outside and it goes over the line here. And just little things like that, I just really like. And I also added this little cat here. This is another Emma Carlisle session, and a little bit different. You can see it's a little bit more delicate and a bit more thoughtful about the lines. I was using markers and pencil for this one, so just markers and pencil. I really love the sketch here of this man reading here and all these books piled up. This is a really difficult picture with all these books. And then this was the last one from that session with this beautiful cat here. I love this panel too, like putting it in a frame. It's really nice. And a random bird just popping in there. And another page. This is one of my favorite spreads. I actually did this last. These 2 pages were the last pages in my book because I was planning on doing another book image and then another spread of panels, but I ran out of time and I just didn't have time to kind of work on that more. So I went back and filled in these pages last, and I really love this page here. This is using the Gansai Tambi watercolor in the background with a bunch of pencils and pastels on top. And this is a odd orange session, so this was loosening up. There's a couple in here, I think. So this is the first one. If I can turn the page. These pages are really thick. The paper's gorgeous. You'll probably see like a lot of texture coming through on the art. But I used, like, I wouldn't normally use a really nice sketchbook like this for drawing sessions. But because I just wanted to move on and get out of the sketchbook into another one, I was using it for just random things like this. Like, I normally would have used this in a cheaper sketchbook. And sometimes it's nice just to treat yourself and use a really nice sketchbook for little scribbles like this. I don't know. It feels a little bit like having dessert for breakfast. And this here was when I was, I did for one of the Birbs for Burbfest, I looked at every single one of my pencils, so like my Posca pencils, Luminance, Polychromos, and so these are the colour palettes I picked for the bird I was drawing, and then I drew a bird for each palette, and that was really fun, and it was a really nice way to learn more about my pencils, and I want to do that more, like looking more into one material, but kind of like a deep dive, because it's really helpful. I've also done it this month with watercolor pencils, and that was good too. Oh, this was using this was using the Neo Arts, which I've used a bit, but not on their own. So I wanted to try and use them on their own, and I have to tell you, I didn't have much fun with them. I love using them, but I don't think I can use them just on their own. This is just the Neo Arts together, and you can see like the texture's really smudgy as I blended them together. This is using a solvent to kind of dissolve them a little bit and then draw it over the top, and it all gets just like a little bit muddy and a bit messy. I don't like it when all the colours like blend into like a weird grey brown. Also, I have to be honest, this wasn't my favourite bird to draw this month. This one here, I really enjoyed though. I really didn't like those other 2 pages when I was drawing them. I didn't like the process of it. So this one here, I decided to go really free and really kind of wild. And I used the solvent to dissolve some of the Neo Arts and like splatter it on. I scribbled, I like held the Neo Art like this really loosely to get all these kind of like loose lines. So that was a really nice one. This was from Emma Carlisle. We did A to Z animals and I just used some pencils because it was very, very quick sketches. They were from 1 minute to 3 minutes. It was really fun to draw them though, and I love this colour palette. Like, this is one of my faves, black, blue and pink, especially a neon, popping a neon in there. And this is the last page with this tiger who I adore and this funny little fish here. Now moving on to Odd Orange again, another loosening up session. This one was a little bit longer, so we had more time and more things to draw. So I got out some other materials rather than just using pencils and markers. So this is some cast here, a couple of pencils, some markers. I even got out a black ink pen, which I never draw with because I don't really like the line. And also these eyes look so scary. I tried to colour them in. It didn't work, but this man's fun. We did some random things like negative drawing, which I'm not a big fan of, to be honest. This is Lily's, I promise. There was one exercise where we did like, it was like an unexpected material, and I got 3 markers and I sellotaped them up so there were like 3 nibs, so it came out like 3 drawings. Not a fan of that one either. And this is still Odd Orange, Sometimes I just draw them a couple of times if the time like goes on a little bit longer. And this is the last one, which I kind of wish I had made bigger. Like, I wish I had cropped in on the man here because I really love drawing the character, not so much the rest. Some sneaky little burbs. For Burb Fest, I was doing, I would say 90% of it on loose paper. But then when I was just really tired and I just didn't want to spend ages, I would open my sketchbook and just do a couple of sketches like these guys. And I think this is the last page actually. So burbs to finish. Oh, and some tiny little sketches here from Emma Carlisle that didn't fit on the other pages. And then I clean and test materials normally on the last page. And that's it. So that is the whole book, guys. A month, a lot of drawing sessions, a few burbs, and not much else. Next month, actually, I'll show you my sketchbook now. I just started this one a couple of days ago. Oh gosh, I can't, okay, the 25th. So I started it 3 days after I finished the last one. And so far, I've only got a couple of random bird sketches in there. This is an Odd Orange sketchbook. They're really lovely. And in the last session, I asked her, what of your sketchbooks should I use first? And she said the landscape sketchbook, which, you know, landscape isn't it's scary. But this paper is really smooth. So it was a lot different going straight from this, which is really kind of like a textured paper, to this. So I'm just getting used to it. But I'm going to try and do a lot of sketching this year. At least one sketchbook a month. Do lots more drawing sessions, lots more drawing by myself, and getting out more. And I'm really excited to show you everything that I do over the year and see how my art improves and grows. So I hope you'll follow along. If you want to see more sketchbook tours or any other videos in the future, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment if you like this video, and I will catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.